Hello again. Chris Lee and Chase Robinson of Southeastern 16 here to preview and predict an outcome on Texas's road trip to Arkansas. You can catch that 11 a.m. Central on ABC. BetOnline has Texas by 14 with an over-under of 57 as we do this early on Monday afternoon. That makes for a predicted final score of Texas 37, Arkansas 23, I think, 22-ish, somewhere along that line. My model has Texas by about 16. Let's get right into it, Chase. Arkansas had a week off last week, and Texas, of course, obliterated Florida it was a decimated Florida, which helped pad Texas's already impressive defensive stats a little bit. All right, what I'm going to give you is Arkansas's offense versus Texas's defense in 5 categories. Points per game, 33 versus 11.5. Yards per passing play, that counts sacks against passing plays, 7.7 versus 3.9. I think that's the best mark in the league in terms of passing defense. Yards per rushing play, 6.0 versus 4.0. Turnover percentage, 2.4 versus 3.5. And sack percentage, 7.8%. Of the time Arkansas gets sacked. Texas generates sacks on 7.4% of passing plays. I think this is the end of the matchup that is most intriguing because Arkansas has got Taylen Green, it's got Quinn Jackson, it's got a lot of guys on that offense that when it is humming, they're really good. But Texas's defense, and some of it is schedule-aided, has been about as good as we've seen this year, and just elite players all over. Really looking forward to that side of the matchup.
Yeah, it is interesting. Look, Texas, from the start, we knew coming in, yes, Steve Sarkisian is a brilliant offensive mind, but what he did in the offseason of this defense and providing depth in so many places on the defensive side of the ball, we knew that was going to help Texas tremendously, and it has. I feel like they are a top-level defense, and I really like those guys. And yeah, Arkansas, offensively, Taylen Green has been really good at times. Other times, you're just kind of scratching your head, where is this guy? We've seen some really bright spots. We've seen some not so bright spots from the Arkansas offense. And, yeah, when they're clicking, they're dangerous. Last time they were on the field, though, they lost 63-31 to Ole Miss. And and we'll get to the defensive side of the ball in just a minute, but they made some mistakes and things like that. But look, I think, I agree. This Arkansas offense is dangerous when it's rolling, and they just have to get where they're consistently producing. That's the problem. There's not a lot of consistency. If there was, we would be having a much different Arkansas conversation than we are right now.
Yeah, I think you hit on the key topic there, consistency. Taylen Green has just been hit and miss. Quinn Jackson has been hurt. Now, I think he's coming back and probably fresher than he's been potentially with the week off and not having played much, if at all, the last couple of games. But Texas is just so stout, so deep. One thing that Arkansas counts on is being out there a lot and maybe wearing teams down with just number of plays. But Texas has got about as much depth as you'll see, and I think that offsets that a little bit.
Yeah, I think so too. And depth is big. You've got multiple guys in multiple positions that know different spots and where you're supposed to be. That's going to help you tremendously, and especially in a game like this where your opponent has the potential to do some big things.
Let's flip sides of the matchup, talk about Texas's offense and Arkansas's defense. But before we do, BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen with the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head on to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here. We'll start with the numbers of Arkansas's defense versus Texas's offense. Points per game, 26.3 to 38.9. Yards per passing play, Arkansas giving up 7.4. I think that might be a league worst mark. Texas averages 7.9 yards per passing play. Rushes, 4.2 versus 5.4. Turnover percentage, 2 flat versus 2.5 is what Texas turns it over. And sack rate, Arkansas sacks the quarterback 6.2% of the time. Texas gives him up just 5.5% of the time. Yeah, you touched on it earlier. The defense has been really problematic for Arkansas. Felt like they had figured some things out earlier in the year. I don't know if more film and adjustments resolve that for opponents or whatever that is, but you're coming in with a Texas passing offense that's just got so many guys to watch. Gunnar Helm, Ryan Wingo, you can just name guy after guy after guy, and to me, that is a real problem for Texas's defense. Plus, if you knock one quarterback out, you got Arch Manning.
Right. Yeah, and again, I thought Arkansas was at the point that their defense was in a better position. But what we saw against Ole Miss, they put up 63 points on this Ole Miss defense, and a lot of it was big plays. And they were without Trey Harris in that game. Jordan Watkins went off, but yeah, Texas is similar in that they have really good playmakers, and that's what's dangerous about this game for Arkansas is can they stop them? Because last time they were out, they couldn't against Ole Miss, and I feel like you hit the nail on the head there when you said you put one quarterback out. Well, Arch Manning can come in and do similar things. So I think this is where the game can change. If Texas can hit some big plays on this Arkansas defense, it could totally change the afternoon.
Let's get to picks and why. I'll start with you.
Yeah, I just think Texas is the better team here. I'm going to pick Texas. Again, they've got a lot of playmakers offensively. I don't think it'll be a score like what Ole Miss did to Arkansas, but I think Texas is going to be able to put up a lot of points here because of the playmakers that they have offensively.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't count Arkansas out of this game. We saw what it did to Tennessee. We have seen it play tough offensively at times, and when they are rolling, they put up over 600 yards, I don't know, 3 times or so this year. That's not the defense they're going to face, though. Texas has been so consistent on both sides of the ball. Didn't look great against Georgia, had some hiccups there, and the schedule's been a little bit light, but I feel like talent, they just got so much of it. Arkansas has started to slip a little bit, lost that home game to LSU a few weeks back. Got clobbered by Ole Miss at home. I feel like a little bit of the magic is maybe starting to fade by the Razorbacks. Again, wouldn't count it out completely because we've seen this team play really well at times, but I just don't feel like this is the spot with the defensive matchup they've got in the Longhorns. Whatever happens, we'll be here to wrap it up afterwards. We do live streams Saturday night, usually start those around 9:30 Central. To get that, hit the subscribe button and enable your notifications so you know when we go live. We are also covering basketball, wall-to-wall, and even some off-season baseball, so that when you subscribe and enable your notifications, we're doing that too. For Chase Robinson, I'm Chris Lee. You've been watching Southeastern 16 presented by BetOnline.